Write a polynomial function f of least degree, don't go overboard, that has rational coefficients, nothing like the square root of 3 or something, and leading coefficient of 1, thankfully, and the given zeros. Okay, so the given zeros, I have 1, 2, 3 given zeros, but I know that this guy has a conjugate that has to come along. This is irrational. The square root of 6 is not rational. So, since it's irrational, it's going to have a buddy called a conjugate. And if it was unreal, I would say same thing. If it were, I don't know, 5 plus 2i, I'd say, well, I also have 5 minus 2i. They always have their conjugate buddy, irrational and imaginary. So, this is a polynomial. It looks like I'm going to have 4th degree, because I have 4 roots, right? If I have 4 roots, I'm going to say it's 4th degree. It could be more, but I'm supposed to look for the least degree. So I'm going to say x plus 1, that goes with minus 4 to make 0. And x minus 1, that goes with plus 1 to make 0. And then I'm going to say x minus 2, and then since I'm subtracting a negative, I'm just going to go ahead and say plus 6 like that, plus square root of 6. And then I'm going to say x minus 2, and also the distributive property, right? If they're both being subtracted from x, it's going to affect both things, right? If you will permit me that strange business. Okay. Normally, as I did last time, I would put it in parentheses inside of parentheses, but I thought I would not this time. So let's see. Let's multiply these together first. We will say x squared. I have a 4x in the middle and then negative x, so together that makes 3x. And minus 4. 4 times minus 1. Okay, that times what happens over here? Well, again, I get x squared. That's nice. And then as I multiply these guys, the outside times both of these. This is the second term here. I didn't put it in parentheses, but it's 2 parts of the second term. You can see that on the second time, I'm going to repeat it over here, except with a different sign. So I'm going to leave the square root of 6 out of this, because it's just going to cancel. X times negative square root of 6 is going to be followed by x times positive square root of 6. So I don't need to write either one, because they're just going to cancel. But I will write the x times minus 2, but it happens again, x times minus 2. So altogether I'm going to get minus 4x. And then finally, I'm going to take a little detour over here, and I'm going to say, what happens when I say negative 2 plus square root of 6? Now I'm going to use parentheses. Negative 2 minus square root of 6. Well, what happens is I get a 4, no middle term, and negative 6, right? Because square root of 6 times square root of 6 is 6, and it's a different sign. So I'm going to get a negative 2. From that business over there, I'm going to get a negative 2. Okay? So, let's go ahead and multiply now. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. X squared times minus 4x is negative 4x to the 3rd. X squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. Then I'm going to say 3x times x squared is 3x to the 3rd. 3x times negative 4x is negative 12x squared. I wanted to say 7 there. That's a danger, isn't it? I see people doing that. 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. Negative 4 times x squared is negative 4x squared. Notice that I'm lining up my x squareds. Negative 4 times negative 4 is going to be plus 16 with the x coming along. Negative 4 times negative 2 is plus 8. Now I'm going to add these up, and I'm going to have x to the 4th. Minus 1, x to the 3rd. They're all negative here, so I'm going to get negative 18x squared. And then these guys are going to fight, and I'm going to get 10x plus 8. So there is my polynomial of 4th degree. That's the least I could have. I could have had more. I wanted the least degree, so there it is, the least degree I could afford. And it has rational coefficients. It has 1, -1, -18, 10, and 8. Those are rational. No square roots to be found. Leading coefficient of 1, there it is, out there. And the given zeros. Well, I used the given zeros to build it, so I hope that's what it is. And if you'll permit me, I'm going to put it into my notes here while I'm still showing the video. If you look away if you get seizures. That's not a joke. Okay, so anyway, that's what the graph looks like. And I think to myself, let's see, here's 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros, 4 zeros. And one of them was a -4. There it is right there. Okay, that's what I get from here. And then one of them should be a 1. There's the 1 right there. And then the square root of 6, real quick, what is the square root of 6? It's about 2.5, almost 2.5. So if I say -2 plus 2.5, I'm going to get a, well, I'm going to get something. Yeah, see, I did it again. Here's where I'd be adding them together, and that looks like it'd be about 4.5, you know, that's reasonable. And then here, I was going by this, and I was looking at the negative, and I was thinking, how could I do that? Well, no, when I put it in, it's positive, so it goes a little negative here, about 0.5, okay? So hopefully that all checks out. You believe that these roots are associated with this 4th degree polynomial that you can see hits the x-axis 4 times in the places where it's supposed to hit. So there we go. That's good.